Today's my day off, and I set my freaking alarm for 6:45 so I could wake up and have the entire day to work on this epoxy. Making the pattern and pouring it actually only takes like 30 minutes, but the entire day it's dripping and you have to keep wiping away the drips. And that will take me probably until 9 p.m. So step one was to prime the surface, which you saw in the other videos. I did 2 coats with sanding in between. Then after I mixed part A and B, I got to put all the colors together. That's the copper, and that is going to be my main color for this entire table. I guess I'm kind of going for like a granite style, but really I just want warm copper tones and it just to look like a earthy stone. I mixed together metallic white, pearl white, pewter gray, a gold dust, and of course the copper. Once I finish mixing them individually in little solo cups, then you pour them all into one big cup, just like I'm doing now. And I added some spray paint because it kind of adds some cool like sparkle effects. But this is called a dirty pour, and it's a dirty pour because of this. Quite frankly, you have no idea what this is gonna look like out on the table until you pour it. You definitely have to trust the process with just about everything in this, but I knew I could trust it. I picked where I wanted my main vein to go, and I knew I wanted it from one corner to the other corner, so I poured that. And then I realized that I really didn't have quite enough epoxy. There's still more in the bucket, but I wanted to use some pearl and metallic white to fill in some areas before I then use the rest of the coloring. But you just keep pouring and pouring and pouring, and then when you finish pouring, you have to smooth it all together with your hands, obviously wearing gloves because it is extremely messy. It looks a little bit scary right now because it hasn't really molded together yet, or melted, I guess, if you want to call it that. The lines look a little bit harsh and things aren't really meshing well together, but this is what it looked like before I pulled off the tape. I'm not gonna lie, this part is gorgeous, but all over I wasn't super fond. This was my favorite part, clearly, and this also looked really good, but overall I didn't really like it together until the very end, so just wait for it. So now I'm peeling off the tape, which is acting like a barrier so that way it doesn't drip off. So now it's going to drip off. Every hour or so I have to go around with a popsicle stick and wipe off all the drips. But guys, this is the result so far. Using the butane torch really gets rid of all the bubbles and gives it this mirror effect. I love it. Let me know if you guys want an in detail how to.